Hello guys, how are you? This is a build of the 172nd F4D-1 SKYRAY. It's an exotic jet. I really love these lines. I have the 148 scale also. It was given to me by my good friend Andy. And I saw this 172nd and thought, why not? Not too many parts, and I have been a bit of trouble sleeping, so might as well get this time productive. So here is the build of this one. I had tremendous fun on this one. The decals are very good. Tamyia, maybe a bit thick, like Tamyia it's usual to be, but the decals are very beautiful. It is a beautiful plane with beautiful livery, and the detail is very good for the scale. And so I started on this one, on the usual place, the cockpit. The cockpit tub will be painted in black according to the instructions, and the pilot seat on gray. As always, it's better, in my opinion, if you work on sub-assemblies like the wheels, all those loose parts that you can paint or fit afterwards, the missiles, fuel deposits, everything that you can paint before, glue. And when you glue, beware and be sure to scrape along the contact areas, okay? This plane will be painted in white according to the instructions and to the real model, in real life. And so are going to be painted also the fuel deposits and the missiles. So I recommend you to be careful with the seam lines, scrape and sand it and polish it in order to be cool and perfect. Even though this kit fits perfectly, there's always small adjust that you can do to that seam line, so please be careful. On the cockpit, I noticed that all the work I could have, it wouldn't be seen. The cockpit is too close, and so I just gave it a light brush, a dry brush with light gray on the buttons and a bit of a lighter gray on the seat, on the pilot seat. The glue I am using here with the toothpick, it's not CA glue, it's just Revell Contacta glue. I have always a bottle. I remove the interior of the glue itself of the applicator and pour it into an old Tamyia bottle, and like that I can smear it with a toothpick. Sometimes it's better than the applicator, even though the applicator is very good. As you can see, the kit fits perfectly. Cockpit fitted perfectly on the rest of the model. And now I am masking the canopy. There are those who, and I am also like this. Sometimes I buy some masks, but usually if I can, I'll make my own with a bit of masking tape. Yes, it's a bit difficult, but the result is cheaper. You save your money, and if you do it well, it works as well as the Edward masks. Now let's prime it. I have here a Tamyia spray can, so I won't use my airbrush, even though I could, but each time I have a spray can, I use a spray can. It's better. I have to be careful when I spray it. But other than that, if I have a spray can, I will use it. Now I'm painting the fuselage, the upper part, with light gull gray, the navy color. After painting this, I will do a bit of paneling with the same color, but with a bit of white. But I'll never use white, but this time I had to use it because the light gull gray is very, very, very light gray. So I didn't have any light gray tone to use, so I used a bit of white, and like this I'm doing some paneling and making the paint not as old, because this plane is one of those which is beautiful, brand new, but just doing a bit of paneling. Here you see me paint on the blue. The instructions recommend that you use a bit of blue, X3 blue, to paint it. However, I would recommend to use a drop of royal blue also, because the tone of blue is to match the decal, has to be a light, just a tad darker, okay? Also, if you want to save some time, you don't need to paint it on blue, because the decals are thick enough to cover the gray paint. However, I did it just to be sure that the decals had not any kind of transparency and thus ruined the tone color of the decal. I'm sorry guys, I'm always speaking on this one. I just wanted to say one thing. You are going to see me right now paint on red the exhausts, the air intakes of the jet. I forgot to put the danger decal at the end, okay? So at the end, in the middle of this red, there is a danger decal. All I can say now is that I will put it tomorrow, because I just needed to do that. I already did the footage, so I am sorry for that. But if I didn't forget something, it wouldn't be an Alex video, because I always forget something. Yeah, that's modeling. I'm not doing this, take any footage again, but I'm sorry for that, but it's a mistake. I already going to correct it. Now I'm painting the edge of the wings on silver, metallic color. I saved it for last, because even though I use only an old and cheap airbrush for spraying the metal colors, I thought it would be better to do that in the end. You guys that use airbrush know the nightmare that it is to clean an airbrush that airbrushed metal color. And here I'm using X22 just to give it a clear varnish to protect the paint job. These decals, the decals of this plane that depict this plane, are very, very cool. I admit, not very easy to put. I had particularly difficulty on the ones I used on the fuel deposits underneath the wing, but even so, they are very, very cool. Another coat of X22 to protect the decals and to prepare the plane, the surface, for an enamel wash from Tamyia black panel line, and next an oil dot. Here I'm just trying to fade some panels, as you can see. Before the cotton bud, I used a brush, but right now I'm just fading a bit some panels. Now I am going to use some oil brush set, the bare metal color set from MOMIG. I always wanted to try these, so I'm going to try first the silver one on the bare metal edge of the slats of the jet. And so, as you can see, after placing the missiles, the fuel deposits, removing the masks from the windows, I finished this. It was a pleasure to build this one. I couldn't sleep, so it only took me 3 days to do it. I hope you enjoy it. Here it is, the Tamyia 1/72nd F4D-1 SKYRAY. Guys, see you in the next video. Keep modeling, always with a smile.